This is literally the only headband I have, so. Hello everyone, welcome back. Great to see ya. Happy you're here. If you don't know me, my name's Becca and I like to talk about things that make me happy. Sometimes those things are anime, sometimes those things are manga or books, sometimes those things are video games, and so much more. This place is just for chilling, having a good time, hanging out with you. That's what we're all about here, just chilling and having a good time. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to, you can hit that big subscribe button thing and, you know, come back here, you can chill some more, have a good time. You know. But really, thank you for all your support. You the best. So if you didn't catch my last two videos, I did a whole recap of the Haikyuu anime series and manga series. It's also a manga series. You can read it also and enjoy it in physical manga form. I did a whole recap of the entire series to get everybody caught up where we are right now in the anime series, because the Haikyuu movie is coming out at the end of May in North America, I should say, and the fandom is super excited for it. I also very excited for it. It will be the match against Karasuno and Nekoma, a very highly anticipated match. These two teams, a huge rivalry, they're gonna be playing on the national stage together. It's gonna be huge, it's gonna be amazing, very excited for it. Haikyuu is a sports anime slash manga that follows the Karasuno boys volleyball team, specifically the main character Hinata Shoyo, as they make their way to nationals. And through the anime, you get to witness people really enjoying something and being really passionate about something. I just think it's really wonderful to watch someone be so passionate about something and go after their dreams. And I know that Hinata has really inspired me to be passionate and go after my dreams as well. And so, yeah, I just really love this anime. So as I said before, I did a recap of the Haikyuu series. Part 1 and Part 2 are linked in the description below. You can catch up on that, see where everybody is at in the anime. But to continue on this Haikyuu little hype trail for the movie, I thought it would be really good to bring back one of the series that I started before and kind of put down for a little bit, but now I think it's appropriate to pick it back up. And that series is the Tired Mentor Appreciation series. And today we're gonna honor Kenjin Ukai, or Coach Ukai, the coach of the Karasuno volleyball team. Specifically, Coach Ukai Jr., because there is a Coach Ukai Sr. Coach Ukai Sr. is definitely a mentor that deserves appreciation. He is the foundation of the Karasuno Volleyball Club, the creation of the foundation that the Karasuno Volleyball Club can stand on. We are going to focus on his grandson today, but we can't mention Junior without mentioning Senior and properly acknowledging how much effort he put into that team, and even how he put in an effort to the team today. Coach Ukai Sr. did help Hinata's development with his attacks, with his spikes. So we really do have to take a second here and appreciate Coach Ukai Sr. Thank you, man. Also, you can still get it, 100%. But getting back to it, as we said, Kenjin Ukai is the coach of the Karasuno volleyball team. Though he wasn't always the coach. The academic advisor for the boys volleyball team, Takeda, really deserves a huge round of applause for even getting Ukai to be the coach of the team. That man worked so hard and bugged that man so much to get him to be a part of the team. Because Coach Ukai used to and is still a clerk at the convenience store that is owned by his mother's side. It's down the hill from the school, and a lot of Karasuno High people come and go to the convenience store to get snacks and stuff. And Kenjin Ukai himself used to go to Karasuno back in the day. He was on the boys volleyball team. He was a setter, and he was the backup setter if the setter got tired. He didn't get to play as much as he wanted to in high school. He still loves the game. He organized a neighborhood association team with his old teammates, and they still play volleyball, but he doesn't want to step foot in the Karasuno gym because of the memories he still has at that gym. So there's a lot of emotion with him being the coach of that team. But something sways him, and that is a rekindled rivalry with Nekoma. Why would this team Nekoma be poking a little bit at Coach Ukai? Well, we have to explore a little bit of Karasuno volleyball team club lore. Back in the day when Coach Ukai Sr., Coach Ukai Jr.'s grandfather, was the coach of the team, he and the coach of Nekoma, a high school in Tokyo, a volleyball club, they were friends and they created this rivalry between them. It helped develop both teams and their skills, and the ultimate goal for both teams was to eventually play each other on the national stage. That's what each team was working towards constantly. And one year, it almost became a reality. Both teams made it to nationals. However, the teams didn't make it far enough to meet each other on the national stage. Then one day, Coach Ukai calls the coach of Nekoma and says that his health is declining and therefore he has to take a step back from coaching. And after that, the rivalry between Nekoma and Karasuno faded until a young teacher by the name of Takeda continually bugged the coach of Nekoma until the Nekoma coach agreed to have a practice match against Karasuno. And Takeda took that information to Coach Ukai and said, I know you don't want to be the coach of the Karasuno team. I get it. I can take a hint. However, I got a practice match with Nekoma coming up next week. Thought you should know. And that hit Coach Ukai's heart because Coach Ukai was a part of the volleyball club when the rivalry was at its strongest with Nekoma. He decides to become the coach of Karasuno, stating that he cannot see Karasuno be embarrassed by Nekoma. Coach Ukai's love for the game had been rekindled by this coaching gig that he, I don't know, I guess it wasn't really given to him, but he was bugged by Takeda, but still. This love for the game had been rekindled. However, Coach Ukai was gonna come back to the game a little bit differently. Originally, Coach Ukai was a setter, so his mind for the game was very fixated on being a setter and what that meant for the team around him. But now, he would have to focus on the team as a whole and all of the positions in the game. He's gonna have to focus on them. He has to walk this fine line of creating inspiration amongst his players, but also focus on strategy, of supporting his players, but also allowing them to support each other and support their own individual growth. And I find that Coach Ukai is actually really good at walking that line because he's constantly thinking about how he can do it better. He leans in to learning, not only from other coaches around him, which he really does take the advice and take what they're doing with their teams and looks at his own coaching style and sees what he can gain from them to better support his players, but he also looks at each of the players on his team and not only learns how to best support each and every one of them because they are all different individuals, but he also looks at his team and what he can gain and learn from them. One of the things that he learns is how to support them individually because each of them learn in a different way. For example, because him and Kageyama are both setters, he knows a setter's mind. He knows how that kind of works. So when he's working with Kageyama, he's working on something specific and he brings what to work on to him. And Kageyama trusts that. For example, he brings the idea of having a set that stops for Hinata to hit it. He brings that idea to Kageyama and then they work on it together. And he knows that Kageyama is going to accept that because they think in a very similar way. However, in some cases, he allows other players to come to him for advice, like Tsukishima. He knows that Tsukishima does things in his own time. He likes to think about things specifically and he will ask very particular questions. And he will come to some people for help when he wants to. And eventually he does come to Coach Ukai to ask him for blocking advice when it comes to blocking the ultimate ace in their prefecture and one of the ultimate aces in all of Japan, Ushijima from Shiratorizawa. Coach Ukai is able then to give Suki advice, and they also build a rapport that when nationals come, Coach Ukai knows how to talk to Suki directly and how to help him with blocking other players. And Coach Ukai understands because he gave Suki the space to be able to come to him for advice. They're able to have that rapport with each other. I think that's quite smart. When Hinata comes to Coach Ukai and asks him for help on what to eat to grow stronger, though it's not really a question about volleyball in general, it's more of a question about how to be a better athlete. He really does allow Hinata to ask him this question and gives him honest advice about what to eat and how to train and how to rest as well, so that he can become a better athlete. And I really do think that him being open for those types of questions as well, that aren't particularly about volleyball techniques and strategy, but about being an athlete as a whole and how to take care of your body. But Coach really does make sure that his players are taken care of and that they're taking care of themselves so that they can perform the best. Coach trusts the leaders to be the leaders on the team. He stays up late and watches other games of other teams so he can strategize on how his team can best work together and use their skills to beat the other teams. He also makes sure that his team is well warmed up and even goes out of his way to find spaces for them to warm up if they don't have one. Like at Nationals, they didn't have a gym that they could warm up in, so he found a place for them to be able to warm up. So he is a very good mentor. We can see he's a very good coach, and he's continually working on his skills to be a better coach, which I think enables him to be a really good mentor. He sets an example for the rest of the players to continue to work on their skills as well. But there is a tired element in the tired mentor appreciation. And Coach Ukai works so hard. Not only is he constantly working to better the volleyball team, to create strategy, to learn from others and work on himself to be a better coach, but he's also got other responsibilities. He still works. He still needs to make money. This isn't a paying gig for him being the volleyball coach of Karasuno. He's still got to be a store clerk all the time. And he's also working on his family farm early in the morning to help out his grandparents, picking the crops and getting them all in as well before he goes to his job, and then he goes to volleyball practice, and then he stays up to look at other teams' videos and create strategy or come up with different plays or think about the game more. He shows up in all ways possible. He knows his responsibilities and he doesn't forsake them for the team. He just adds another responsibility in his life, which is the Karasuno volleyball team. But he loves the sport of volleyball, and I think he also really loves his family. So he's going to be dedicated to both. And that does require a lot of effort. So yeah, he's going to show up tired. That's just the way life is. He's going to be tired. But we appreciate all that he does, even if it costs him his sleep. Kenjin Ukai is a true Karasuno Crow and continues to be a mentor to the generations below him that want to play volleyball at Karasuno. He loves the sport, he loves his team, and he wants to continue the legacy that his grandfather worked for, that he worked for, and that his team works for. The legacy of the Karasuno volleyball team is important to him, and the game is also important to him. So we raise our hairbands to you, Coach Ukai. Thank you for being a great mentor, even at the cost of your sleep. You make the Karasuno volleyball team proud. Fly high. And that's it for now. If there's another tired mentor that you would love to see be appreciated in the tired mentor appreciation, please leave a comment below and we'll get to appreciating them, because they deserve appreciation. Again, if you need a little recap of where Haikyuu was and where we left off for the movie, please check out part 1 and part 2 of my recap. They're linked below. But until next time, you have yourself a great time, okay? Karasuno, fight! Bye!
I want you to keep retrieving till you puke. Right!